comment, bienvenue. Welcome to another of my live streams. I'm very pleased, after much intrepid traveling, to have back in the studio Christiane Ebert, a Pilates instructor, a life coach, who actually is also got a third string to her bow. She acts as a carer. She's very supportive and very helpful, which is interesting because it leads us into today's discussion point, which is Pilates for all. Because Pilates is not just for young spring chickens or for people who are a competitive athlete or Olympians. It's not just for runners. It's also for people of an elderly disposition, people who are older, who found that perhaps their bodies are binding up, that they can't get off the floor. Christiane always says that's the most important skill any person can have, is to be able to get back off the floor. So Pilates for all, Christiane. Do you think it's really, truly applicable for all ages?
Yeah. So unless you lie in a hospital bed and really can't move, there's no reason why you shouldn't do Pilates, and you can do it on a chair. I almost said from the couch, but I'm going to take that back because we're all slumping on the couch.
Yes, exactly.
And I have always this argument with some of my mature or elderly clients where I get them, why can't I sit on my favorite chair? Because I know how you're going to sit on your favorite chair, right? Exactly. And so I want you to get your most uncomfortable chair, the straight-backed chair, And so it is absolutely no problem. Do Pilates from the chair. And some of my clients actually get very innovated doing that from the chair if they're in a normal class. So they're doing their exercises, but they're doing the same exercises in inverted commas. They're just doing it on a chair, and they get a slight adjustment if they don't want to do it in an individual class or in a one-on-one basis. So it's very beneficial for them because, and there I take always my grandmother's saying, if you're resting, you're rusting. And that's really so true, because the problem with old age is, as we know today, is often also anxiety and depression, and a lot of it is led by loneliness. So what happens? Often one partner has passed away many years ago or shortly, and now suddenly the children live far away, and they're able to cope around the house well enough, but they're lonely. They're very lonely, actually, because they find they're not able to really move around anymore. They live on the second floor, and the walker or whatever doesn't go. There's no lift. And so if I can mobilize them or keep them as long as possible mobile, that they can go down the stairs, or if they live on the ground floor, go and go past the high street or wherever they want to go, to the shop or to a local coffee meeting or something like this, then there's a lot already done for their mental health as well. And that plays so often together, because I think old age, and I mean old age now, really, I'm looking at the 80s, 90s or something like this, depression is really, really horrible, because it can be so easily prevented if they are not lonely. And that is often the thing, what is going on. And out of loneliness and depression comes anxiety, because the next thing is then, I'm too afraid to go outside.
Yes, you start building limiting beliefs based on the fact that you had one or two bad ones. I mean, is there an age at which point you should really not be doing Pilates, or is it something that you could go as long as you can physically cope with it?
I think as long as you can physically cope with it. I always say to I say it to everybody, if you have any problem, your exercise should be, you should see a doctor and clear that you can do exercise. But you also have to explain your doctor then that you're not doing Pilates for the Olympiad. You're doing Pilates on a chair,
Right.
and you're not doing 59 squats. Yes, I have to admit, I do with some of my clients. They stand and sit and stand and sit and stand and sit, which is actually a squat, right? And that's important because unless they want to sit for the rest of their life on the dining room chair, they have to get up and down. They have to get up and down off their slumpy, comfy couch, which is far worse than getting out of a normal chair because they're lower with their bum than their knees. So that's often a problem. Am I talking to myself or are you frozen?
I was frozen, I'm afraid. We've been having some internet issues at this end, but yours is fine. Yours is fine.
Okay.
So, okay, look, the thing that gets to me is there are an awful lot of people, ever more increasing numbers of people, who end up through misadventure living by themselves. And if they're not doing something to maintain at least the basic level, they could potentially fall and be stuck, unable to get back up again. So are there things that people can be doing for themselves easily at home to maintain that sort of muscle group?
Well, I would always say, Pilates on a chair. And if you do this, 5 exercises a day, and I'm happy to send everybody a video with 5 exercises, and you can do it. And so it's just that what's the word? You have to be constantly at it, and you can't just today I feel like it. 5 weeks later, I do it again, and
It's
that's
about
obviously
consistency. It's about consistency.
Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. Yeah,
showing up, actually doing it.
Yeah, and then also and find a friend and maybe bring. I'm very open to it to say, okay, we have 5 friends here, and we all have a computer. We want to do it together, and okay, then I put you all together in one group, and you all do chair Pilates together. And so because then you have the community also and so on. You can encourage yourself in the class and say, okay, we can meet later on down the road at the cafe, or we go shopping together, or something like this. If I can achieve that, then I think I achieved already a lot. Because for a lot of people, it is, if I can do it out of the comfort on my own and don't have to go and walk with my walker or something like this to the local church hall, where first of all it's cold there, and do it with them. That's an effort already. Okay, you have to have somebody just a computer for you, or you have to be computer literate. I done that with my mother, and I just written down exactly the steps for her, how she could get into her Zoom meeting with her.
Zoom has become all pervasive now. I think if you've never, I think there's very far and few between that you've never actually interacted with people in a Zoom meeting. So would you do me a favor and just describe the typical setup that someone should have to work within a Zoom meeting with you? What should they have already prepared?
They need their laptop. They can do it on an iPad. They can do it on the phone. But I would say that a lot of people, mature people, also have problems with their eyesight. So if it's a small phone, that's probably a problem. Ideally, you link it up to your TV, so then it's big enough. But a laptop or an iPad, and then that's absolutely fine. You sit in front of it with your chair and move a little bit back so that I can see you. And that's all you need. And have something to drink. And that's really all you need.
Right. So once you've prepared all that, do they need a mat as well? I was going to say, or do they need to buy weights?
Some of my clients can get off the chair and get down onto the mat. and can do some basic exercises there, and then they can get back onto the chair again. If I know they can do it, I will do it constantly with them, so they're not losing that. And so yeah, and that would be a good idea. But if you at the beginning and you just want to sign up for chair Pilates, then you just sit on your chair. And this is exactly the same as with other Pilates classes. If you don't have a weight, you can use your tomato cans or something like this. They work like a bomb, and or cushions, and or a small ball to squeeze. So because also often they find their hands are getting arthritic, they're not moving easily enough. They all need to be moved, and to sit on the couch and use the TV remote is not enough exercise.
Sure, I thought that's quite a lot of exercise right there, isn't it? Click.
Yeah, the wine glass is actually also good for the shoulders. I mean, we could come up with a few of them.
All right, excellent. So what I think would be very useful is if we talk about expectations. I think people, when they come to a Pilates class, whether it's face-to-face or online, they expect that after a session or two, they'll be fit as a fiddle and everything will be firing on all four cylinders. When we all know that it takes longer than that, doesn't it?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, and I think that is what one has to say right up front, it depends where you are. Where you are at the start. What is your baseline? If you can still run to the corner cafe, then that's a totally different story as if you can hardly get down the stairs and put one foot in front of the other. So obviously, I would say from your baseline to, I would say 6 weeks. So
6 weeks. Right.
6 weeks where you actually say, okay, I'm really noticing stuff. I would say, so there's always this story, where the first week is where you think, oh, so great. The second week you cursing your instructor because everything starts to be a little bit sore, and you realize that there has to be some effort in it. And by the third week, your body actually adjusted to it.
Right.
And then therefore, but obviously it will all be graded according to what you can do.
Right.
It's I'm not going to make you deliberately sore if you can hardly go down the stairs. It's all about, the aim is then mobility.
But you're saying in 6
weeks, mobility.
In 6 weeks, you'll notice differences. You'll absolutely feel, and this is literally working from your doing it from your living room on chairs. It's amazing.
Yeah,
we're talking about a chair exercise that can really reap results, get you to the point where you can literally control yourself on and off the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, I know friends of mine in my age, I'm in my late 50s, who struggle getting up and down from the floor.
We also know somebody who wanted to sign up for Pilates and is still not done it. Do you have any idea who I mean by that? I'm talking to myself. So just to break the ice here a little bit.
No, I tell you what, that was a perfect timing. My internet is up and down a bit at the moment, but just I'm looking shiftily around the place. No, yes, I'm perfectly good. But how easy is it for people to sign up to your course?
It's the easiest is to WhatsApp me and send me a message. That's the easiest, because I would like to speak to them anyway first. I always like to speak to any new client first, so that I and they know what they're getting into, and who they're getting into with. So because I think that's important. You need to like each other, and I always think it's that for that, you're working personal together, there needs to be some, you can't not like each other. So yeah, please send me a WhatsApp. I will phone you back. You can phone me, but I can't always guarantee that I can answer because I might be in a meeting or I am teaching, but I will always get back to you.
All right. So, hang on. Have I got this right? Oh dear.
Yes, exactly. Apart from that,
I don't know why I've got an extra.
I have a very big. Yeah.
Hang on, let's see if I can sort that out. No, it's refusing to be sorted out. I apologize for that. Let me see if I can. If I get rid of it,
that's fine.
there we go. There we go. I've sorted it out, and I'll do better than that. This is a WhatsApp number, so you can.
Yeah, or as a message doesn't matter, isn't it? You
Yeah.
have to save me first before you can WhatsApp me. So
There we go.
But really send me a message, and I will get back to you. Really, no problem. I think Gareth is just still thinking about that he should be signing up for Pilates, and he still hasn't done it. So that's what his angelic look is like for the innocent look, I mean.
All right. Well, look, before my internet gets any further off kilter, I'm going to thank you so much for taking the time out to spend time with us. Christiane, I can only apologize for my internet. They are upgrading the line apparently, and I've got the result. What I would say is, if you see that WhatsApp number below, please do give her a call or send her a message or send her an SMS, and she'll be only too pleased to talk you through how you start with her. Remember, it is via Zoom. It is accessible to you wherever you happen to find the space. She can work with groups or she can work with single people, and the results are guaranteed, if only if you attend consistently. And I wish everyone a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Christiane. And of course,
and of course, he wanted to say something else, but his internet broke again. So I would say that's it. And we see you next week with another subject about Pilates or mental health. Bye-bye.